as part of a reusable space transportation system, let alone on a all 6 of its engines. Some clamps separated, and
all right, let's try this again. We're into try number 2.
Test of the heat shield, and we were
sure
able to gather a ton of valuable data about hot staging.
We maximize the vehicle's performance by leaving 3 first
So it's not really travel nerd news today. It's just kind of nerding out in general. Watch along with Starship's 3rd integrated flight test.
Propellants are at the bottom of the propellant tanks, which is where we need them to be in order to quickly light the ship's
probably
engines.
broadcasting them in the the chat here or in the audio.
So that physics will be doing the work instead of mechanical parts pushing.
So if I mute that, I can still hear them, but
by 10%,
you cannot.
Which directly translates to more payload
anyway,
and
let's
more
make this
people
bigger.
and Mars.
Now,
T minus 13 minutes and 20 seconds. There is a bit of concern about the wind. Looks like SpaceX has 899,000 viewers. That's pretty sweet.
Crew and cargo from the Starship hatches down to the lunar surface are currently in development. And the data that we gather from each test flight helps inform.
Hopefully you all have your favorite beverage. For me, it is just past 7 in the morning.
Suits that are used to demonstrate the range of mobility that astronauts will be expected to have. And we were using these to do human factors demonstrations and figure out the layout of the elevator. So
underwater suits,
development work for a future
which makes sense.
Super cool. Now, SpaceX will perform one uncrewed demonstration flight before NASA's Artemis 3 mission, which will be the first human surface expedition since 1972. After those first expeditions, we'll be ready to fly more people along with everything it takes to build a moon base. There's so much to look forward to. It's incredible that
just kind of hanging out, waiting for the
back to the moon.
You couldn't have said it better.
Waiting
Kate.
for it to
just the
time out, I guess.
It's just the start. When the time comes to make the leap to Mars, everything ramps up by orders of magnitude.
They want to go to Mars.
The logistics of
Talking about going to Mars.
City on Mars are daunting.
I get. I understand that.
Of pounds of cargo flown from Earth and spread out over thousands of
sent
launches.
out a notice to the regulars, and one of them popped in on attempt number 1. If you weren't here earlier, this is attempt number 2.
Let's check in with Dan once again for a countdown
Let's go to the desktop.
Still good news from down here at Starbase. We're not tracking any technical issues that are going to block us to a launch. Our T0 time still holding to 8:25 a.m. Central, so just about 11 and a half minutes from now. The real thing we're going to keep an eye on is the winds once we get there. We do have that potential hold at T-minus 40 seconds where we can hang out and either let winds die down, make sure we're in the right structural limits, everything like that. So don't be surprised if we do a hold at T-minus 40. We've done those on previous flights, but we are not tracking any technical issues. The range
talking
is going to be green
about
for
a
launch,
potential
so all that
hold
really great
at
news.
T-minus 40 seconds because of winds.
On the ship.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
We're just about done loading the header tanks, the 2 smaller tanks in the top, and then we'll go back to the main
Looks like
tanks
a beautiful day down in basically
full
South
fuel
Padre Island.
Over 80%.
Starship,
so
Texas. I don't know what they call it, I guess.
The launch pad itself is getting ready for liftoff. We commanded the booster hold downs open already about 20 minutes ago or so. And then that just means that once that rocket has sufficient thrust to overcome its weight, the thrust to weight ratio goes over 1, it's going to lift off. We don't have a command to actually release the hold downs once it starts up. Just also a reminder, actual liftoff happens a few seconds after you see those engines
giving all the
ignite. So you'll see
statistics.
fire, and then a few seconds before Starship really starts to take to the skies.
Nope, I'm not.
Our range team
They've
just
been
gonna
giving
keep on
the
making
statistics.
Sure land, sea, air, all clear.
This is from the
as we
south
really
looking
count
to the
down. But
north.
that's the latest.
We've got the Gulf of
We're
Mexico
just
off
coming up
here
on
to the
10
right.
minutes before launch, everything looking good. for
South
Starship's
Padre
third
Island
test
is
flight.
behind
I'll
this
get back
cloud
to you
here,
guys on
so
board.
all those viewers at
Now,
the
if
beach
you've
in
been
South
following
Padre
SpaceX over
can't
the years,
see
you've no
much
doubt
because of
heard
the
us talk
cloud.
about our goal of full and rapid reusability. Nearly all of the
It's amazing
Falcon
how
boosters
fast
flown
this place has
last year
changed since
and
I was
this
there a
year
couple years
have been
ago.
reused, or as we
This
like to
tower
say,
didn't
flight
exist.
proven.
They were just starting to build the launch mount, the base that you see there. That was just starting to be built.
And with
Pretty
Starship,
amazing
our
stuff.
mission is to take reusability even further by reflying both stages with little downtime between flights. And
I will turn up the Starship volume here when they get to
as we mentioned earlier, rapid and
closer to lunchtime.
Is critical to enabling routine spaceflight. The team at Starbase has been hard at work developing and manufacturing the hardware that will
I wish I was there. I need to get, this is one of those items that I really would like to see. I think what I'm going to try to do is get down there when they tried to do a chopstick grab. If you didn't know, the intent is on the tower here, these chopsticks, these are called the chopsticks up here on top. So the part with the black is the Starship itself. The shiny silver part, they're going to show this here.
This is when the tower
here's the booster section.
Dual purpose. After launch, the arms or the chopsticks
and they want to catch it.
Guide the booster into position to ensure a soft landing.
Now, from what I've seen of the sea landings, their accuracy is
that's the inspiration for naming them chopsticks.
Close.
Some of you might recall a little film.
But I'm a little skeptical of their ability to actually grab that. But you never know. I never thought they would land a rocket on a barge in the ocean either. So.
Now, today we do have 4 ships and 4 super heavy boosters built, with more coming off the production line as our Star Factory continues to grow.
Yeah, if the FAA would allow them, they'd be launching
future flight tests just like today's.
Multiple times.
In fact, just this week, we static fired our next ship.
Pretty much as quickly as they possibly could.
To test the booster as soon as the launch mount
I'm guessing Elon Musk is pretty frustrated by the government reviews that have to happen after every flight.
While we really hope to get our splashdown location in the Indian Ocean, but any data received will help us improve.
This is just a test.
Many future flight tests for
Starship. So that's a specific statement for the news media, because every time after the first 2 flights and after all the Starship tests that have happened, the media describes them all as a failure.
So whatever the outcome and
they are trying to get data. If they make it all the way to orbit, great. If it blows up on the way, then they have data. That's the point of this whole process.
And that's exactly how we like it.
Yeah,
Rapid
exactly.
Iteration is a key.
I wonder what those black panels are.
All of
those
our
are
major innovative advancements,
Starlink,
including Falcon,
antennas,
Dragon,
maybe,
and Starlink. We believe that if you're not failing, you're not learning and improving the design.
Yeah, many of the innovations that we've developed have come from our failures, and they teach us how to avoid the perils of spaceflight. It's a tough business.
It's a little different. When they were building the Falcon,
design allows us to make the design
they had a lot of pressure to actually deliver a successful launch and a successful rocket. Otherwise, they were going to lose a bunch of contracts and probably go out of business. And I can't remember how many flights they attempted before they got one of those to work. It's a little different now because Elon Musk is wealthy, so he doesn't have to have it work the very first time.
Not designed to be reusable. We wanted
That's
to
an awesome view.
Design, and then when
looking
we
to the
Dragon
north
2 online,
for reference.
We had to do a lot of corrosion analysis.
Again, this is a public access road to the beach here. So if you are in Brownsville, South Padre Island area, and you want to go to this beach and drive past the SpaceX site, you are certainly allowed to. It's pretty amazing that you can just do that.
Improve the operations, and they've helped us change our understanding of what's possible when it comes to rocket and spacecraft reusability.
Yeah, the fact that the road is public and you just go down there is pretty nuts to me.
Terminal count. How are we looking, Dan?
All right, I got my chat fixed.
We're looking good.
Afternoon, David.
35 seconds, and we're counting down. We are just about at closing the prop load.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Just a reminder, ship, we're going to close out at around 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
We'll see what happens
today. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Once all of that prop is loaded on board, we'll have about 10 million pounds of propellant.
That rocket looks like one Dr. Evil was built. Yes, and it cost.
After that happens, we'll go through a couple of different procedures.
I don't know. I have no idea what it cost.
Pushbacks, clearing out the lines.
David and I disagree about the usefulness of government reviews.
And then in the next few minutes, we'll get the final guidance system alignments, some final thrust vector control.
Look at all those rockets.
Checks, and all that will be performed.
I guess technically those are rocket nozzles. You can't actually see the engines. That's a rocket, I guess.
Hang out. It sounds like today we'll have about 15 minutes to hold at T-minus 40 if we need to. If we hit that right now, it looks like the most likely reason would be winds. We're not tracking any technical issues to our T0 at 8:25, just about 4.5 minutes from now. So, I mean, everything's really looking good. The booster's almost at full frosty, so we'll see that close out in just a couple of minutes. But we're getting really close to flight, guys.
4 minutes.
The excitement is definitely growing here in Hawthorne, SpaceX headquarters. There is a large crowd gathering. You might hear them cheering occasionally. Now, Dan mentioned a good point about the holds. We have an opportunity to today hold for a few minutes. And this is a really cool thing about Starship. And we don't have this opportunity with Falcon or Falcon Heavy. Up until the T-minus 40-second point, aborts are just holds. So anything that would trigger an abort prior to T-minus 40 seconds becomes a hold. So that's a really cool feature to allow the team to wait for final checkouts or assess prop levels, engines, avionics, vehicle pressurization. It's really helpful to ensure a liftoff.
Yeah, and that's something that is that is very different from Falcon. I'm sure people have watched our launches, and then we get right down past prop load and then have to scrub because of weather or scrub because of an issue on the vehicle. And we don't have the same constraints on our propellant and our system with Starship, which gives us more availability in the window. And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes the winds dip just enough where you can launch the rocket safely. And otherwise, if you have that ability to hold a few minutes,
I'm going to turn them down again.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind
with all the other rockets that are dumped in the Indian Ocean, it's amazing to me that there hasn't been more, and maybe there is, and I'm just not aware of it, more environmental outcry about using the Indian Ocean as a rocket dumping ground. Pretty sure that when SpaceX launches a Falcon 9, the upper stage is re-entered into the Indian Ocean. I can't imagine too much actually makes it into the ocean, but there's going to be some bits and pieces, the heavier pieces. Yeah, pretty crazy. Which brings me to a squirrel moment. Went to the Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama, and they actually have a couple pieces of Starlab that made it from space back to the Earth that were recovered, I think, in Australia. So that was pretty crazy.
We wanted to get through hot staging separation.
Did I ever visit the Thiokol place north of Salt Lake? I never actually did visit it. One of my trips down to Utah to visit the in-laws, which there's anyway, that brings back other memories. They were actually testing one of the space shuttle boosters way back in the day, and I remember pulling off to the side of the road and looking at the big cloud. You can't really see the site from the road, but I can see the cloud. That was kind of interesting. 1 minute 32. I don't know how much of a public access there is to that place. I'm not really sure. So never really pulled off the road, never really looked into it. So they also live broadcast their rocket tests. So I've watched a couple of the rocket tests. So that's pretty sweet.
Just 2 minutes before T0, and then after that, the quick disconnect.
The Thiokol place is close to the Golden Spike National Monument, which I've always wanted to go to, and I've never made it.
After T0, so we're under a minute away.
Not that the original Golden Spike is there anymore. That's what I've been told, at least.
Sounds like the winds are cooperating today. We'll be able to move right past that, not tracking any other technical issues that could hold us.
Keep my mouth shut.
QD vent gate.
I think they're go.
Through the QD vent gate, past that 40-second hold.
Go for launch.
Go for launch.
Flight Director Ty Huntington telling the team we are go for launch. So 20 seconds
Light
to
this,
go.
Baby. Light her up. Light her up.
Let's listen in.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go. Everybody's lit. It's so cool. Oh, it's beautiful. They all look to be lit. Oh my god, it's so amazing. It's such a giant machine. Oh.
30 seconds into flight, we are feeling the rumble. We are seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines ignited on the Super Heavy booster.
Booster and ship, avionics, power, and telemetry nominal. Acquisition of signal, Corpus Christi.
Everything's looking good.
Continuing to get good call-outs. Our trajectory looking nominal. Systems looking nominal. Just amazing to see all 33 lit up
looking
once
good.
again.
Morning, Red.
At this point, we've already passed through max Q, that maximum dynamic
so
pressure.
Cool.
And passing supersonic, so we're now moving faster than the speed of sound. Getting those
all the Raptors are lit.
Views from the ship cameras.
16 kilometers. God, it's just amazing.
Now the next major milestone is going to be a hot staging maneuver. Again, we're going to be doing that in just about 90 seconds. To do that, we're going to shut down
from here.
all but the three center Raptor engines on Super Heavy. That'll be our MECO, our most engines cut off. And then the clamps holding the two stages together are going to release. Starship second stage will ignite its engines, the RVACs first. The sea levels right after that. The sea level engines will be splayed or just kind of pointed out at about a 15-degree angle. So if you look close and we get good tracking, you might be able to see those center right after. And so those 6 engines will push Starship off of the booster.
You know staging is close because the fuel levels, the LOX and CH4.
All right, counting down now. We're going to be coming up.
If you didn't know what those are.
Right around the 3-minute mark on that hot staging maneuver. Again, we'll see the booster engines start to shut down. You'll see all but 3 lights go out in the middle.
Show from
here.
Show
the
from
engines
here.
Ignite on ship, pushing it away. And that will start carrying the ship into space. Booster will start to do its flip and then move into the boost back burn, setting it up for eventual splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
Do it.
Stage separation. Boost back startup.
Come on, ship. Everybody's lit on the ship.
Hot staging confirmed. Boosters now making its way back, seeing 6 engines ignited on ship. Kate, we got a Starship on its way to space and a booster on the way back to the Gulf.
Oh man, I need a moment to pick my jaw up.
Super successful so far.
These views
no matter what happens.
Stunning. These are live views from Starship. First stage is currently performing the
ship avionics, power and telemetry nominal.
Good there, news informing us that the second stage or the ship, everything looking good, nominal there. First stage is currently performing the boost back burn, expecting that to last about 1 minute. That boost back burn, that boost back burn propels the booster back towards the coast, taking it to a landing in the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. We're only using the Super Heavy boosters 13 center engines from here on out. As whenever they relight, you'll be able to see that in the left bottom corner. Those are the ones that can gimbal. In other words, they move and change direction in order to change the thrust to steer the first stage back to Earth. Look good.
Maybe that's normal. That doesn't look good, though.
Wow, these are just incredible views coming to us.
120 kilometers.
Everything is looking good for both the first stage on the left-hand side of your screen or the Super Heavy booster, as well as on the right-hand side of your screen, that is Starship, or we also refer to that as the ship.
The ship.
Now, the boost back burn was the first of 2 burns required to return it to Earth. The next one will be the landing burn, where all 13 center engines will initially ignite and then transition into a 3-engine burn to help slow it down. Now, just as a reminder of the Stage 1 test objectives,
ship is burning.
We're looking for controlled ascent, which we have so far. Stage separation, which, gorgeous, we cruised right through it, as well as
on a nominal trajectory.
Good news there, telling us that the path that Starship is on is good. Now, Starship's second stage is still firing its engines, and as you heard, following planned flight path, the ship objectives, we're looking for hot staging again, cruised right through that. We're looking to demonstrate controlled ascent as well as orbital insertion. Now, the bottom right-hand corner of the screen shows the ship engine graphics, so be sure to keep an eye on those.
Yep, Kate, like
Booster
this is just
left.
a phenomenal test so
Ship
far.
on the right.
Super Heavy is performing beautifully today. It's on its return leg of the journey.
140 kilometers.
Ship continuing to burn its 6 engines, those larger circles, the Raptor vacuum engines, the inner circles.
I wonder if they're going to show
Raptor
the booster
sea level
going
engines.
into the ocean.
We're about 30 seconds away.
I think I've said this in the
30
past.
seconds away from the
Oh,
start of the boost back burn. Excuse me, the landing burn on the booster. You can see the grid fins rotating.
They're going to show it land in the ocean.
Supersonic grid fins are guiding us through the atmosphere back towards our splashdown site. Again, we're going for a for a splashdown, a soft splashdown. So for landing burn, we're going to expect to see the 13 center engines light, rapidly bring down the booster's velocity, and then just the 3 in the center for splashdown.
Here we go.
Let's see if that'll work.
We're looking a little unstable.
We're getting a few.
I think we're going to have to work on the control system.
And acquisition of signal. Let's see if we can get some other video of that. Now, this is a test objective today. It is still something that we're attempting to learn.
I think the booster
to make
lost
it that
control.
far to demonstrate the controlled re-entry up to that point is pretty darn good.
As a former control engineer,
Ship
that was looking pretty
continuing
unstable.
to look nominal with its
still pretty fantastic
burn.
though.
This burn lasting about 6 minutes total. And we're expecting that this burn will end just after T plus 8 minutes, about a minute from now. So far, though, I mean,
that's
congrats to the team. Making it this far is farther than we've gone on Flight 2. Just wonderful views and great engine performance from the vehicles.
The flight plan is not to orbit, though.
So far, we've hit controlled ascent. We're in the middle of that right now. We demonstrated the hot staging. Kate, as you said, cruised through that. We demonstrated controlled entry of the booster. Just stopped a little short of the engine relay, but hey, that's something we can learn for the next one.
Yeah. Now, that view that we just had moments ago was a live shot of Star Command. There you see it again. This is our Mission Control Center at Starbase, where vehicle operators are standing by. Now, the next milestone coming up is in less than a minute. At that point, ship will, or I'm sorry, actually, it already has.
Starship engine cut off.
There we go. As you heard there by the call out and from the crowd behind us, Starship's 6 Raptor engines have successfully shut down. We heard a call out for nominal orbital insertion, which is incredible. Look at these views there.
That is a huge accomplishment. And then they're going to flip it. And
I'm just completely blown away right now. What a day. Congratulations to the entire SpaceX team. I mean, this flight pretty much just started, but we're farther than we've ever been before. We've got a Starship not just in space, but on its coast phase into space. Just to recap where we've come, and it's only been 9.5 minutes. How has it only been 9.5 minutes? We lifted off right on time at 8:25 a.m. We didn't have to hold at our gate at all. We had 33 out of 33 Raptor engines open up and light and get us through a nominal ascent. Another successful hot stage. All 6 engines on the ship propelling us into orbit. We did see what looked like a nominal boost back burn. And then we did make it all the way to the landing burn this time. Didn't light all the engines that we expected, and we did lose the booster. We'll have to go through the data to figure out exactly what happened, obviously. So be on the lookout for information about that. But wow, a ship in space. We've got a bunch of, as we said, ambitious objectives ahead of us over the next couple of minutes and pretty much over the next hour, where we're going to really, we've got the ship in space. We're now going to take advantage of this and try and learn as much as possible about some of the other systems, including that first ever Raptor relight in space. So it's just going to be incredible. So all of that still to come. The mission just started, but wow, what a liftoff! What a hot stage! What an amazing sight to see Starship there in outer space.
I can't believe we're seeing it in space. This is awesome.
Wonderful.
Now, we are going to be coasting for the next about 30 minutes or so. We'll be back around the T plus 40-minute mark, and that'll be Starship continuing to coast, hit those ambitious test objectives, and then continue on to re-entry. We're not totally sure what video that we'll get, since that normally comes to us as we overfly ground stations, and we don't have a ton of those along our trajectory. But as we have video, we'll be sure to bring that to you.
Starlink may be able to bring us additional communication paths today that will allow us to talk to Starship through re-entry with no communications blackout period. It's a possibility, but either way, we will be live for all of today's milestones. And of course, when we do have views,
signal, Puerto Rico,
especially like the ones that we have now, which I just cannot get over. When we have views, we will be sure to bring those to you live. But no views or no views, we'll see you back here at T plus 40 minutes.
Pez door is opening.
And there we just heard call it that Pez door is opening, so that's great.
First test.
One of our test objectives today is to open and close that Pez door. That's where we will deploy Starlink satellites from in the future. So great news there that test objective is already underway. So come back here, stick around till T plus 40 minutes for coverage of Starship's deorbit burn demonstration, followed by its re-entry and what is sure to be an exciting splashdown.
I think that's all the good stuff. I'm going to step off because that was amazing and I need more coffee. Gotta have priorities, but that was pretty amazing. If you are interested in continuing coverage, you have to get to Twitter. If you go to Twitter, if you can, of course, follow me at Trizity on Twitter. And yeah, that was the best thing I've seen in a super long time. So I hope you enjoyed the coverage. I hope you enjoyed that all, because that was a pretty momentous event. Pretty amazing. So they want to go to the moon, they want to go to Mars, and that is a huge step for try number 3. Looks like they got to orbit. That's pretty amazing. So I'm going to step away then, and I will catch you all Sunday for the regular travel live stream. So thanks everyone for dropping by. If you watch this after the fact, I hope you enjoyed the fantastic event that you witnessed. It is pretty momentous. So I will see you later. Bye-bye.